when no one can shake you anymore, not with words, silence, or betrayal. Most men live easily stirred, a disrespectful comment, a broken promise, a simple delay. Suddenly, anger, bitterness, or exhaustion overwhelm them, not because the world is cruel, but because they never learned to master their emotional reactions. But the Stoics remembered what we've forgotten: true power belongs to the man who remains calm under pressure. Mental strength isn't physical strength, it's control. And self-control starts with one unchanging truth: you don't have to react. In this video, you'll learn how to build emotional mastery through Stoic philosophy. You'll discover how to prevent others from pushing your emotional buttons and guard your inner peace like a man who refuses to be conquered by outer chaos. You'll see why lowering expectations isn't weakness, but wisdom. Silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. Emotions aren't your enemy, but how you respond to them can be. If you've ever felt overlooked for your calm or constantly thrown off balance by life, you're not alone. But today, everything changes. This isn't empty encouragement, it's a deep transformation. Be patient. What you're about to hear could reshape how you face life's storms. If this resonates, like the video, subscribe, and share it with those who need it. Strength isn't noise, it's steadiness. From now on, no one and nothing will control your peace. First, see self-control as your shield. There's a fleeting moment, often missed, when a man loses his power. Someone interrupts, mocks, or ignores him, and inside, a storm begins to rise. His chest tightens, jaw clenches, voice grows louder than needed. Just like that, calm vanishes. Not because the other person is stronger, but because he reacted, and in that reaction, he surrendered. We often mistake reaction for strength. We think the growler holds power, but the harsh truth is harsher strength doesn't dwell in noise. It's found in the silence you choose. Self-control isn't about feeling nothing. It's refusing to let emotions dictate your actions. You don't need to be numb, you need to be precise. Anger is instinctive, fast, loud, impulsive, and dangerous. It feels like action, but often leads to regret. When insulted and you erupt, they win by breaking your calm. They've taken control of your state, and you unknowingly let them write your story. The easily provoked man has no walls, nor boundaries. His emotions are public property. Anyone can step in, push his buttons, and seize him for a moment. Now imagine another man. He hears the same insult, but remains unmoved. His breath steady, his gaze unblinking. He doesn't suppress his reaction. He masters it through practice, because he knows emotional control isn't about toughness. It's about not handing over the keys to your peace to strangers. This is Stoic power, not ego, but ownership of your time, energy, and emotional space. Maybe you've been here stuck in traffic. Someone cuts you off. Your heart races. Words rise on your lips, and then it all fades. But tension lingers. Distraction grows. Balance lost. This is the cost of reaction. You pay long after the moment passes. The Stoic man knows this, so he pauses. He lets the feeling surface but won't be ruled by it. He breathes deeply. Remembering the world owes him no perfection. Control lies within himself. Most live in survival mode, ready to defend. Prove. Retaliate. But that stance weakens you. It hands your identity over to others. They offend you, respond. They praise you, smile. You lose yourself. You become reaction, not reflection. And the reactive man is a slave to the world's mood swings. So, how do you build your shield? You start with stillness. When provoked, don't speak. Don't act. Feel the wave rise inside, but don't ride it. Watch it. Acknowledge it. But don't follow it. That silent moment is your power. There you break the cycle. Gradually, you become less reactive, more composed. You stop fighting noise. With noise, you stop chasing justice in petty disputes. You guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. This isn't passivity. The Stoic man doesn't ignore injustice, but knows when to act and when to let go. He understands when to speak, and when silence is the sharper weapon. He chooses his battles, and when engaged, he acts with clarity, not anger. You don't need to prove your strength. Just own it. The loudest voices often lack control. The quiet, steady, unflinching man is the one truly heard. That man commands respect. From this moment on, let your first instinct not be to react, but to remain silent. Make silence your habit. Let peace become your hallmark. When you master this, you become untouchable, not because the world stops testing you, but because it no longer controls what once held you captive. Secondly, lower your expectations of others. You keep feeling let down because you set the bar too high. It's a trap. It starts quietly with the thought that someone should be wiser, should do more, should understand better. You hope they'll say the right thing, appreciate you, honor your boundaries without reminders. But when they don't, you feel hurt, frustration, anger, even betrayal. You begin to believe people are disappointing you, but the truth is simpler and harsher. They're just being themselves. The pain doesn't come from their actions, but from your expectation that they should be different. Expectations are a silent contract you write alone, without anyone else's signature. You wish a friend would protect you, a partner would be more patient, a colleague would recognize your efforts, and when they don't, your peace vanishes. That gap between what you want and what you get is where resentment grows. You carry the heavy burden of who you want others to be, and it slowly crushes you. Ancient Stoics didn't waste time blaming others for being themselves. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he would face ungrateful, arrogant, and deceitful people, not out of pessimism, but because he was prepared. When you accept human nature, you stop demanding perfection. You no longer surrender your peace to every fleeting disappointment. You don't expect calm in the storm or clarity in chaos. You learn to see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. Imagine entering a room with no expectations. You don't assume the waiter will be polite, the driver calm, or, friends, remember your birthday. You simply observe and engage. You respond with calm clarity, not impulsively. You've freed yourself from the chains of assumption, no longer shocked when someone disappoints you, because you've let go of the idea that they owe you what they never promised. This freedom, subtle yet powerful, changes everything. Too many men tie their inner peace to others' behavior. A stranger's rudeness can ruin their day. Silence from loved ones can cause weeks of tension. But what if you could untangle that knot? What if you stopped expecting others to gift you carefully wrapped peace? What if you ceased demanding perfection from those who are hurting? This is the essence of Stoicism. It faces reality as it is, demanding no fairness from those who don't even grasp the concept. It asks no understanding from those still at war with themselves. It teaches you to meet people where they are and not let it shake you. Here's what you can do right now. Think of someone who always disappoints you, a friend, colleague, or family member. Ask yourself, am I hurt by what they did or by what I expected them to do? Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let that question become your mirror. In that reflection, you'll see clearly. You are not betrayed. You have simply expected too much. Lowering expectations isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming wise. It's not the death of hope, but the birth of understanding. You don't have to stop loving others. You only need to stop letting your expectations become the weapons that wound you. Start today. I will see others as they truly are, not as I wish them to be. I won't beg for rain to turn into sunshine. I will build my own shelter. That is the freedom of the Stoic, not freedom from others, but freedom from the burden of needing them to change. Third, practice indifference to provocation. Some people don't want peace, they want your reaction. They provoke, irritate, waiting for you to explode, because that's how they feel control. When you lose your calm, they win, not because they are stronger, but because they've pulled you into their chaos. The moment you react, you've stepped into their world. You let them decide who you become. That is the true loss. Not insults, not arguments, but allowing them to touch your soul. Indifference isn't coldness. It's not ignoring injustice or pretending not to be hurt. Stoic indifference means not letting anything unworthy steal your energy. You choose where your mind settles. You decide who gets access. You guard your focus as something sacred because it is. Each time you let a fool provoke you, you abandon your throne and plunge into the mud. Remember the last time someone deliberately tried to rile you up, a stranger on the street, a disrespectful coworker in a meeting. A close family member always knows how to say words that ignite your anger. You feel the fire surge. Words form. Tension tightens in your chest. This is the pivotal moment, the real test. Most men fail here. They speak too quickly, act impulsively, losing what they most want to keep their power. Now, imagine a different outcome. The same insult, the same provocation, but this time, you pose. You sense the impulse to react, but you resist. You let the words reach your ears, but refuse to let them penetrate your soul. You observe, then choose. It's not worth it. Then you walk away, not in retreat, but in control. This isn't weakness. It's mastery. The man who holds steady without blinking owns the room. Calmness commands the moment. Epictetus said, if someone tries to harm you, but you deny them your pain, they fail because suffering requires consent. Insults need your agreement to take root. When you respond to noise with silence, when you stop reacting to every shove, you rise beyond their reach. You become untouchable, not because you fight harder, but because you refuse to fight at all. This doesn't mean passivity. You still act when necessary. You set boundaries. You speak your truth. But you choose your battles wisely. You don't get dragged into every petty fight. You don't waste time explaining yourself to those who've already made up their minds. You don't argue with the noise. You move beyond it. This is the emotional strength of the Stoic man. It's the disciplined calm forged in life's crucible. Next time someone tries to provoke you, try this. Pause for 3 seconds. Just 3. In the silence. Take it all in, but resist acting too fast. Ask yourself, do I really want to give them this power over me? Then decide that this pause is the space where character is shaped. That quiet moment separates the strong from the reactive. Practice this daily, in line at the store, in traffic, or during an argument. Refuse to react just to feel better. Let your silence speak for you. Let your calm unsettle them. The ones who have to shout lose something vital. The man who doesn't blink forces others to change. Let them talk, mock, and try, but guard your energy like you would guard gold, because in the end, that is your true worth. When you no longer react to every provocation, you gain something precious. You gain clarity. You gain peace. You reclaim yourself. Start now. Find a situation today where you'd usually lose your temper, but won't. Smile. Breathe. Keep moving forward. This is how the Stoic man wins quietly and without playing their game. 4. See every challenge as a test of character. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. That moment of irritation, that sudden test, is not chaos. It's a mirror. Life reveals who you are when things fall apart. Most men stumble, complain, ask, why me? But the Stoic man asks, what am I being called to build within myself right now? Pain is not personal. It is a lesson. Every disappointment is weight to strengthen your character. Every failure is a forge for your discipline. But only when you stop reacting impulsively and start responding deliberately. Only when you stop seeing yourself as a victim and begin seeing yourself as the architect of your inner strength. The world doesn't get easier. You only get better at facing it. When someone disrespects you at work, when your partner loses their temper unexpectedly, or when plans fall apart just before the finish line, you stand in life's gym with 2 choices. Let it shrink you or let it sharpen you. Most men get angry and blame others. The Stoic breathes, observes, learns, then decides, I will not let this pain be wasted. The truth is, ease doesn't build character. Pressure does. Discomfort builds the man. Difficult conversations, betrayal, delays are not obstacles on the path. They are the path. But you only see this when you stop running and start embracing them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, fire turns what it burns into flame. This isn't poetry. It's training. What once threatened to break you becomes your fuel. It's easy to be kind when others are kind. Easy to stay calm when the world cooperates. But when someone shouts at you, when life throws the unexpected, when your pride is wounded, that's when you see the truth. Then your values are no longer theory. They are tested. That is when true strength matters, not in comfort, but under pressure. The man who can hold himself steady under pressure can overcome any trial. Don't wait for the world to make you grow easy. It won't. What you can do is change how you see hardship. Don't see it as an interruption, but as an invitation. You're being called to step into a stronger version of yourself. And you don't need a perfect life to do that. You just need to treat every uncomfortable moment as training, even the small ones, especially the small ones. Late emails, cold stares, traffic jams. That's where the real work begins. Quietly, daily, with purpose. This is how you apply it. Next time frustration rises, catch it early. Don't run from it. Name it. Then ask yourself, what is this shaping inside me? And consciously decide how to respond. Will you lash out or stand firm and build resilience? Will you argue or strengthen your calm? Strength isn't a switch you flip on and off. It's something you cultivate in moments like these, not by pretending you don't feel, but by choosing not to let emotions control you. You have the right to struggle, but not the obligation to fall. You can feel the burn, yet still transform it into fuel. So next time life pushes back, don't see it as an insult. See it as an opportunity, an occasion to forge what no one else sees: your character, your control, your silent strength. Watch your emotions without surrendering to them. A man doesn't fall because he feels, he falls because he obeys every feeling. Anger rises, and he reacts. Fear freezes him. Shame makes him hide. But what if you could watch all these feelings as clouds passing across the sky without turning into storms? This isn't denying emotions, it's disarming their power over you. Emotions are signals. They come fast and hot, but they're never orders. You are not your rage. You are not your anxiety. You are the witness to their arrival. And if you learn to observe without merging, you preserve your freedom. Freedom isn't suppressing feelings. It's refusing to be controlled by them. This is a discipline you can strengthen like a muscle. Stoics don't say don't feel. They say, feel it. But don't blindly follow it. Imagine standing in a crowded room. Someone mocks you. You feel the surge, jaw tightens. Heart races. That's real. But now, stop. Instead of reacting, breathe. Instead of responding, name the feeling. This is anger. I feel it, but I won't act on it. You just broke the cycle. You took the wheel. Most men never do this. They live in automatic reaction, believing feelings must always be expressed. But Stoic practice teaches the opposite. Between stimulus and response lies a space. In that space, you reclaim control. Here is where emotional strength is built. Not by pretending you're unaffected, but by standing firm while the inner storm rages. To do this, you must train mindfulness. Observe without judgment. A thought arises, you don't grab it. An emotion swells, you don't let it speak for you. You quietly watch. And through watching, you create distance. In that distance, you find your power. We often act rashly before thinking, then blame the world for the consequences. But chaos isn't born outside. It springs from what inside you remains unexamined. When you hand the microphone to emotions, your values are silenced. When impulses lead, your wisdom sits quietly unused. A Stoic man reverses this order. He sees the flame, but chooses not to burn. He feels the sting, but does not strike back. Knowing strength lies not in force, but restraint. And restraint is no weakness, it is clarity. It is the silent command of one who has learned to wait, observe, then decide. You can start practicing any time. At work when frustration rises, at home when disappointment hits, when tired, when provoked, before speaking, pause, before acting. Check yourself. Ask, what am I feeling, and what do I want to build from this feeling? If the answer is nothing useful, Let it pass. If it's growth, act. But only act once the storm inside has calmed. Just 10 seconds of mindfulness can change everything. This isn't theory. It's discipline. Emotional endurance isn't loud or flashy. It doesn't need applause. It lives in the silence between feeling and choice. And every time you pause, that silence grows stronger. You might think you lose something by not reacting, but in truth, you gain everything. Balance, clarity, and your dignity. The world doesn't need more men shouting back. It needs men who stand still, see clearly, and act only when the time is right. So start now. Next time emotions swell like waves, don't fight or follow them. Stand firm. Breathe. Observe. And move by choice, not impulse. 6. Practice gratitude, even in discomfort. Gratitude comes easy when the sun is shining and life flows smoothly. But when your morning starts with bad news, when a trusted friend lets you down, or when traffic steals an hour of your life, what will you do? Most people simply complain, replay that moment, and search for someone to blame. With every complaint, they dig deeper into bitterness. Yet the Stoic does not wallow in this way. He rises because he understands gratitude is not reserved for comfort. It is a tool for clarity. Being grateful in pain doesn't mean pretending it's not there. It means seeing discomfort as a chance to grow stronger. This is a moment to sharpen patience, test endurance, and extend humility. While others get lost in what they lack, the Stoic focuses on what he has: a lesson, a shift in perspective, an inner muscle being trained. He views discomfort not as a disruption of peace, but as the proving ground where peace is made real. Imagine standing in a long line, running late. Your phone buzzes non-stop, yet nothing moves forward. You feel anger rising, tempted to sigh or snap, wishing everything would just cooperate. Instead, you breathe deeply. You look around and tell yourself, "This moment can teach me something." Suddenly, it's no longer just a wait. It's a training ground. You're not wasting time, you're building resilience. That shift, the choice to reframe the moment, is where emotional strength is forged. Most men shy away from discomfort. They chase convenience. But that breeds weakness, not strength. You grow when life pushes back, and you choose to stand firm. When you ask, "What is this frustration revealing about me?" that question turns annoyance into insight. And when you appreciate the moment for showing you what needs work, you've taken the first step toward true resilience. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This is no mere metaphor, it's reality. Growth doesn't come from ease, but from resistance. But only if you meet that resistance with the right mindset. Gratitude is that mindset. It's not about being thankful for injustice or cruelty, but grateful for the chance to respond better than before. This is transformation. You stop begging life for ease. You begin asking yourself for strength. And every hard moment becomes an answer to that request. Gratitude becomes your strategy. You use it to reset how you experience failure. That doesn't mean liking everything that happens. It means refusing to waste any experience, even pain. So here's your exercise at day's end. Recall one moment that irritated you, a small scene that disturbed your peace. Then ask yourself, what did this moment offer me to practice? Did it call for patience? Did it challenge my ego? Did it remind me to breathe before I speak? that is your gratitude. It's not the event itself, but the opportunity it brought you. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let it change how you face tomorrow. Most live by reaction. The Stoic lives by cultivation. They don't seek comfort. They train clarity. And when suffering comes, they meet it with calm. Not panic. They don't welcome every situation, but they refuse to let any pass without gaining something. Begin this practice not just once a week, but every day. Anchor gratitude to your pain. Plant it where it's absent. Watch your mind start to change, not into false positivity, but into genuine emotional independence. Such gratitude helps you stay calm amid chaos, focused amid noise, and live each moment more fully than those around you. On Saturday, try this. Use the perspective of time to shrink your problems. A small flame looks huge when your face is close, but step back, and it's just a flicker. That's the power of time on troubles. It shrinks them not by altering events, but by changing how you see them. What feels unbearable today often seems tiny from a wider view, yet most never take that step back. They live nose to nose with every irritation, insult, and delay, burning up moments that could have passed. Time's perspective is the Stoic's scalpel. It cuts through the illusion that the present is all that matters. It teaches you to ask a better question. Will this still matter in a month, a year, 5 years? Suddenly, the sarcastic comment, the cancelled plan, the missed chance all lose their weight. Because most things that shake you are temporary. The mind that can wait won't suffer twice. You miss a flight. L'ose adil. Someone forgets to say thanks. In that moment, your heart races. Your mind spins stories, rehearses reactions, fuels resentment. But what if you pause, not to deny the moment, but to see beyond it? What if you whisper to yourself, this too shall pass. Next year, I won't even remember. That simple thought alone can drain most of the poison from your emotions, not through force, but by shifting your perspective. The greatest mistake many make is believing urgency equals importance. They treat every matter as if it's a crisis, every argument like it's the last, every mistake like a death sentence. But urgency is a lie. The Stoic understands this. They don't rush into battles that time will settle. They conserve their energy. They know which pains to face head-on and which to endure quietly. This isn't indifference, it's discipline. Imagine standing in the eye of a storm. Heavy rain, howling wind. You're soaked, trembling, angry at the sky. Then someone tells you the rain will stop in 5 minutes. You wouldn't panic. You'd wait patiently. That's the power of perspective, the strength to stand firm. Not because it's easy, but because you know it's temporary. You suffer more when you believe the storm will last forever. But the wise know most storms are brief. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When you apply time to pain, you diminish the power of your fears. That silent insult will fade by next week. That failure will be your foundation next year. A broken heart will become a distant memory, its sharp edges softened by time. And when you truly grasp this, you stop bleeding over paper cuts. Here's a simple exercise when something annoys you. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, how long will this matter? Then answer honestly. Truth is always shorter than your reaction. That's your signal to let go. And letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. Let the emotion come. Feel it, but don't build your identity on it. Let time carry it away while you stand strong. You owe no explanation for your calm to those addicted to urgency. You only need to know your peace grows as your vision widens. Let time be your ally. Use it to filter what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Soon, you'll realize many problems seem huge only because you're too close. Step back. Breathe. Shrink them down. 5 years from now, most of today's worries won't even matter. Don't let passing clouds dim your light. Let time reveal what truly counts. Let your vision restore peace and walk through today with steady mind rooted in distance, not noise. This is how you rise quietly. Untouchable. Every man longs for strength, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the silent strength that cannot be disturbed. What you hear today isn't theory, it's practice. The silent discipline of mastering your emotions, the power to pause, reflect, choose, and guard your peace as if your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. When you begin to master your reactions, lower your expectations of others, and view every irritation as a test of character, transformation happens. You're no longer a slave to your feelings, no longer pulled every which way by noise, people, or circumstances. You start living with clarity. Stoics aren't saints. They're people who struggled just like you, but they trained their minds daily through self-reflection, stillness, and deliberate responses. And now, you can do the same. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You just need presence. You need practice. Remember, inner peace isn't found. It's built through habits and choices. So start today with the smallest steps. When someone speaks harshly, don't respond in kind. When plans change, don't complain. When discomfort arises, meet it with awareness. Train your emotional strength like a muscle. Turn every challenge into your training ground. Over time, the world may stay noisy, but you won't. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. What recent moment tested your peace? How did you respond? Let this space be your growth journal, a mirror reflecting the man you're becoming. Remember, true calm isn't the absence of conflict. It's the refusal to surrender your mind to chaos. Hold on to this truth. Live it, and carry it quietly but firmly with you.